Tess says, I've been very complacent about acting, particularly in the area of speaking truth, God's truth and your personal opinion, and I feel this has weakened my will. Yes, I agree. Well, can you give me some examples of where you feel that you've done this?
There's just been opportunities have come up where I feel I can say something.
Yep.
And I even know at that point
Yep.
that it's something I should say, and I just back out.
Yep. So your spirit guides are even trying to help you say, do it now, Tess, do it now, Tess.
Yeah.
You go, no.
Yes.
So what is the primary problem?
Fear of either attack from people
Yes.
or being humiliated or feeling weird and something like that.
Yes.
Something about others' opinions.
Now, can I suggest to everyone, like I was saying to yourself too, Suzanne, when you fear attack from other people, in the long run, you really fear how you're going to feel after they attack you. Do you see what I'm saying?
So the response.
You fear feeling the emotional response you're going to have to the attack. And the emotional response most people have to attack, because our worth is linked to the fact that we shouldn't be attacked, right? We then, whenever somebody attacks us, we feel that means that we're worth nothing or thereabouts. And as a result, that emotion is devastating for us to feel, and so we don't want to feel that. That's why we're afraid of attack. You see, the way I look at it now is that if I'm not getting attacked, it's highly unlikely that I'm any different to the world. Do you follow? Can I say that again? If I am not getting attacked, right, then it must mean that I am the same as the world. Because the world will love its own. So if I'm getting attacked, that means that I'm not the same as the world. And to me, that's a good thing. Do you see? See, most of us, when we get attacked, we want that to stop, right? We just say, we want it to stop, and we'll do anything to make it stop. And I'm going, hang on a sec. Now, sure, if I was getting attacked and the world was in a loving condition, and then I think, hang on a sec, if the world was in a loving condition, I wouldn't get attacked anyway. You follow me? So if the world was in a loving condition, I wouldn't be getting attacked. So that tells me the fact that I'm getting attacked means that the world is in an unloving condition. That's why it wants to attack me, right? And if I accede to the attack, if I go along with the attack, that means that I want to be of the world. I want to be the same as them. I want to be thought of the same as them. But God's completely different to them. And if I want to be at one with God, I can't be at one with God and at one with the world in the current situation. The only time that's going to happen is when I'm back in the celestial heavens again. That's when I can be at one with God and at one with the world that I'm with. Do you follow me? Because everybody else is also at one with God. But aside from that moment, you're going to be like different. But we have deep addictions to not be different. Because if we're different, we get attacked. And we don't like getting attacked because our worth is connected with the attack. In other words, we feel we have a lower worth when we get attacked. But to me, it means actually from God's perspective, my worth is still the same. And in fact, the fact that I'm getting attacked is a good sign that I'm actually progressing. Right? Because the reality is, if you're not getting attacked by spirits or people around you, then it's highly unlikely you're changing. Isn't it? You think about it. If everybody, from a logical perspective, if everybody is here in this circle, and all the people around you are in the same circle, right? And you are in the circle with them, it's highly unlikely you are going to be attacked any more than the average person in that circle is getting attacked, isn't it? But if you step out of that circle with them, now you are different, right? And what happens to different people is they get bribed, blackmailed, or attacked, or in order to pull them back where? Back into the circle again, don't they? So if you're out there getting attacked, doesn't that indicate that you've at least had enough growth to not be of the same circle? Doesn't it? Isn't that a positive faith reinforcement? But you see it as a negative thing. But I actually see it like I know I'm Jesus. One of the reasons why is because I get attacked for it every single day. It's not the only reason why, but okay. Right? Obviously. But I get attacked for it every single day. And not only do I get attacked for it, the spirits who know who I am orchestrate these attacks. So in a way, they're building my faith. Interesting, isn't it? Right. When you start to get attacked for doing the right thing, then you probably know you're no longer having the same viewpoints of love as the world does. At the moment, many of you are fitting into the world, and as a result, everybody thinks you're just normal. And when everybody thinks you're normal, you don't get attacked, but there's no example or proof there, is there, that you're actually any different to the world either. So in fact, it's a feedback mechanism demonstrating to you that actually, if everyone in the world thinks you're the same as they are, then it's an indication that you're probably the same as they are. And what did we say was the problem with that on our first day? We can't learn. We're not going to learn. It's blind leading the blind. So to me, Tess, getting attacked is an indication, if I'm trying to be loving and truthful, getting attacked is an indication that actually I'm no longer of the world.
And that I'm not being complacent anymore.
Yeah. And to be in that state requires courage, obviously, but also a lot of trust in God. Because you've got to trust that actually, no, this direction you're heading is the right direction. So you've got to be convinced that it's the truth, and you've got to be convinced that what you're doing is more loving than what the people around you are doing, and so forth. But once you're in that state, you will get attacked. It's inevitable initially, isn't it? In the first century, when I left, near the time when I died, I said to the people who were around me at the time, I said, look, I'm going to leave and you guys are going to get attacked. Right, which is exactly what happened. But also look what happened. The majority of them had courage. They shared God's truth to such an extent that there are many thousands of people in this, and millions of people, in fact, in the celestial heavens now, as a result of their efforts to share God's truth. It wasn't successful immediately, but over many years it became very, very successful because they knew they were going to get attacked and they saw it as a demonstration they were not of the world.
Thanks.
That makes sense? Yep. So we inside of our human psyche we have a deep desire to be the same as others. And you know why that is? Because we see it as an issue of safety. All right? The only problem with that is that if you have a deep desire to be the same as the world is, then as we pointed out right at the beginning of our course this week, we're not going to gain any education in love because it's just blind leading the blind in that place. Right? You are going to become different. When you become different, other people who don't like you becoming different will attack you. Many of those people will be from your family, your friends, people who you're close to you, business partners and all these other people. They will attack you. And you know what? That's why many of you are choosing to not act, because you know that's going to happen. And you don't want it to happen. And so you want to be closet, divine truth followers of the way. You want to do it in the privacy of your own home or even your own, your own built-in wardrobe. Many of you don't even want to deal with the issues between your partner and you regarding this particular issue, let alone the bigger or wider community feeling the way they do about you, right? So, and this is a problem. Many of you are not acting for that reason, because you want to somehow be safe in this initial phase of following God's truth, while at the same time trying to maintain a connection with the world so that the world does not harm you. That's what you want. And that's what you're doing, Tess. That's why it feels bad too. Because you know, I haven't had the courage. And it's a reinforcement that, there's a problem here with my courage. So this is an issue of faith in God, faith that everything will work out in the long run, faith in the fact that if you have courage and you follow the path that you believe is true, and you tell the truth about it, that other people will harm you, and you believe other people will harm you, and as a result of that, whenever you put in the situation where you could speak up, you believe, often falsely, that other people will harm you, and then as a result of that, you don't speak up, and then you feel bad about yourself, which is like a vicious cycle, right? Yeah. You'll feel a lot better about yourself when you speak up. You'll come away going, yeah, I had some courage there. I've learnt how to have courage. Isn't that good? Many of you need to have a lot more courage. Like you do, you need to have a lot more courage. And I mean just courage to stand firm to your own convictions and stand firm and understand that actually if you try to keep yourself a part of the world and at the same time imagine this part of me here is in the part of the world that I want to keep contact with, and this part here is where I want to go in terms of God's truth. Eventually, what will happen is both are pulling in their directions, right? What ends up with me? What's going to happen to me? I'm going to be ruined by it, aren't I? I'm going to have to make a choice one way or the other, aren't I? And this is what we use the term, sitting on the fence. Yeah, that's what we're doing, sitting on the fence. Now, can you sit on the fence and have a relationship with God? Well, no, you can't. Because the other side of the fence is the world's view of love and the world's view of truth and the world's view of all these things that we've been discussing, and none of that bears any resemblance to God's. So you're going to have to facade one of them, aren't you? Can you see? And this is what many of you are actually doing. You are doing that. You go to God and you're honest with God and whatever, but then when you jump in the world, you go, oh, forget all that. I'm just going to be this person that everybody thinks is okay. And all these beliefs I have and all these other truths that I know and all these other things that I know I have to deal with, I'm not going to say anything about them because this is where I'm going to be with the world so that I can be safe. So we're addicted to the safety of it. And we think it's safe. It's not very safe, actually. Yep. Because we're being manipulated by our lack of courage. We're being manipulated by that. Yeah. So it's a good thing you brought up that test. Yeah.